The jury's still out in the High Court trial of former top policeman John Dewar. He's accused of covering up rape and sexual assault allegations made by Louise Nicholas. Donna Marie Lever's been covering the case and joins us now from outside the High Court in Hamilton. Good evening, Donna Marie.
Good evening, Wendy. Well, we've just learnt in the past few minutes that the jury has taken a break for dinner, so they'll be back deliberating at about 7:30 this evening. Now, the jury went out at about 12:30, just after lunchtime. Before they went, they asked the judge if they could see some of the evidence again. Now, that piece of evidence was some covert filming done by One News, which has been shown in this trial, and that Louise Nicholas is wearing a hidden microphone talking to John Dewar. So they saw that, began their deliberations, and they haven't taken a break apart from a short tea break this afternoon.
Donna Marie, you've been following this case throughout. Are there very many people waiting for this verdict?
Well, I've certainly noticed as this trial is sort of drawing to a close, more and more people have packed the public gallery. John Dewar's family, his wife and children in the courtroom behind me at the moment. Louise Nicholas has been watching most of this after she gave evidence. Now she's with her husband and her father. They're just down the road, and everyone is waiting for that verdict at this stage. We'll bring you the very latest details as soon as we hear.
Donna Marie Lever in Hamilton, thank you.
Tough new powers to make it easier to detain and deport unwanted immigrants and refugees have been unveiled by the government. The proposed rules are aimed at stopping those people deemed a security risk from entering the country. One News political editor Guyon Espiner joins us now with the details. Evening, Guyon.
Good evening, Simon. Well, there's no shortage of details in this bill. It runs to something like 350 pages, and it's being described as the biggest rewrite of our immigration laws in 20 years. Algerian refugee Ahmed Zawi is the only person to have had classified security information used against him in a New Zealand immigration case. But that could now become more common under a major rewrite of immigration law designed to crack down on illegal immigrants.
It allows us to use classified information in immigration decision-making and refugee and protection decision-making.
The Minister says there'll be safeguards to ensure the use of secret information gathered by the likes of the SIS isn't abused.
The likelihood is that this might result in some 2 or 3 cases a year potentially.
People like poor old Ahmed Zawi, they'll get shuffled out quicker and still not have access to the accusations against them.
The new bill also makes it easier to hold people who may pose a security risk. Immigrants or refugees could be detained for 4 days without a warrant, and officials will be given new powers.
Designated immigration officers will also have powers of entry, inspection and search. They will not have powers of arrest or seizure.
The changes would also allow the collection of so-called biometric information, such as iris scans and fingerprints from foreigners, but for now it's limited to just photographs for New Zealand citizens.
It seems that New Zealand's going to compete with other countries to see who can be first to a surveillance society.
It's always important to keep a balance between protection of individual rights and protection of society, and we wouldn't have put the bill forward if we didn't think it was striking that balance.
And despite the critics, the government's confident that bill will have the numbers in Parliament to become law.
All right, Guyon, clearly the government's targeting refugees and immigrants there. Is it targeting specific countries, though?
Well, not really. I mean, this bill is aimed at making it easier to deport people who are here illegally, no matter what country they're from. But one country that was mentioned today was Iran. Now, apparently that's the only country that we don't have a deportation agreement with, and the Immigration Department was saying that there have been several cases where Iranians have been here illegally and are simply refusing to go and getting caught up in a seemingly endless appeals process. What this bill aims to do is to cut that process right back and avoid the sort of long, drawn-out cases like the one that we've seen with Ahmed Zawi.
Thank you very much, Guyon. Guyon Espiner in Wellington.
And the man who wants to be our next Prime Minister has gone on the attack in another fiery exchange in Parliament. John Key hit back a day after being savaged by Labour.
If you could compare MPs to Jedi Knights, it was a case of the National Empire fights back.
Labor are dog tucker, and now they know it. They will be running around like a bunch of sewer rats looking for a drain pipe, because that's what they are, Madam Speaker. Mr Mello, I now know why there's an official duck hunting season, mate. Anyway, we'll get back to you in a minute.
Taking pot shots, then being accused of ducking for cover.
He lied, and now he runs from the House because he can't take it. He cannot take criticism. He runs away. He lies and lies and runs, Madam Speaker.
Labor continued to mock John Key despite his departure.
I'm such a poor little National Party leader. Please don't pick on me anymore. Those big, nasty Labour Party bullies have been picking on me.
But it was a true gladiatorial contest this time, much different to yesterday, when National were blindsided by a carefully choreographed Labor attack. This time they had a strategy, and despite Labor's continuing claims their leader had lied about his position on sending troops to Iraq.
Tell the truth, Mr. Key. Tell the truth.
I'm still waiting for Mr. Key to be held to account for not telling the truth about Iraq.
National fought back, MP after MP, taking their turn and attacking the Prime Minister's past mistakes.
I seek leave of the House to table the police report into Helen Clark's.
Leave sought to table that document.
I seek leave to table a list of the numerous explanations of what the Prime Minister was doing as her chauffeur-driven car sped across
sought to table that document.
It's the most brutal debate seen in a long time, with some MPs calling it an utter shambles. Both sides are clearly intent on winning the upper hand, but will this kind of behaviour see them all losing in the public's mind? Francesca Mould, One News.
There's a verdict in the case of the police recruit charged with raping a prostitute. More on that after the break.
Plus, it had a stormy history. Why a cruise ship's been stalled again.
And she's finally reaching for the stars. The tragic story behind a teacher's venture into space.